Hi, my name's Brian Whittington. I'm the founder of EBS Growth, and I thought I'd share with you some ideas, thoughts on how to really effectively hire good talent. These are some processes and technologies that you can use within your own organization, or clearly, we can help you with it. So here we go. Talent as a service. Here's the process, and instead of reading this off, I'll send over the slide deck here as well, but it's really make sure that you have a process that's extremely well laid out and followed. The discipline to follow the process is really going to save you a lot. So first thing that we want to do is really identify what is the business function that this person is going to be performing, and then a little bit later on we're going to go into how are we going to measure them, right? So the business function, and then what are the specific roles that they're going to play within that business function. Then we determine a job scorecard. So if we have the specific roles, then we should put a true number to what they're going to do on a weekly, daily, monthly, quarterly basis. And ideally it's in a weekly and monthly basis. So they're going to get, in sales for example, they're going to get 6 new companies per month closed. They're going to have, this was for an insurance company, add 30 lives per month. And I can't remember what that was. But anyway, you're going to put out specific ideas here. Then you're going to get into employer branding. How do we protect our brand? How do we compete against the others within the field? Maybe some getting into technology sales is going to be a really easy play right now, but getting into some other areas might not be as easy. So the more mature markets, we're really going to have to work on employer branding. So what's our value proposition for a company? What's their experience going to be like? How will we keep them engaged? What's our brand reputation? What's our corporate identity like? Our corporate identity like? How are we going to communicate our brand and really allow our culture and who we are to show? So really keeping that in mind to drive. And then that becomes the talent acquisition as opposed to just recruitment. Recruitment is one-off, tactical, firefighting, as-needed basis, where talent acquisition really aligns your talent strategy with your overall business growth strategy. And our suggestion is you really look at the talent funnel much like the marketing funnel, where you're constantly going after and taking them through the funnel to where you get a hire at the right time. So whenever you're looking to hire somebody, you want to consider what we call the search criteria. What are their skills, experiences? What's their attitude like from a cultural perspective? Will they align with us? Do we like them? What are the results that they've had? And this is going to get into behavioral interviewing in a bit, but what are the results that they've had? And then their ability to learn. How quickly can they learn, adapt, grit, what we call challenge, growth, change to constantly become better? And then what are their habits or hobbies? And especially whenever you're looking at salespeople or client-facing people, this is a really good question to ask. Because if I say, hey, are you decisive? They're going to say, oh, yeah, you betcha, And then if I say, hey, tell me about a time that you purchased a large ticket item, walk me through that decision-making process. How did you go about it? If they say, well, I looked at every single consumer report, researched this thing for 6 months, and then lamented over these two, that is going to be a very indecisive person. That person might do really well from a pipeline growth, but never close anything, because whenever they hear something like, let me do some research and think this over, that salesperson is going to go, you know what, makes complete sense. I would do the same thing and not push against that at all, and you'll see a closing challenge. So how do we check these things? So interviewing is one, but then we also highly suggest an assessment tool. Now there's a million assessment tools out there. We've moved over to Outmatch. But we're able to take a look at this person from all of the different types of sales that person might play. And are they more of a consultative, long, complex sale? Are they more of a 1, 2, 3 call close, short sale, value add? Are they more account sales where it's cross-sell, upsell, or more commodity sales where it's just one-off, very transactional? So the type of sale you have is really going to determine the type of person that you hire. So knowing this is extremely critical. Then select your hiring team. Make sure that your hiring team are the best of the best. This is not relegated to anyone. Make sure the best of the best, because if you don't have A-level players hiring, a B or a C is never going to hire an A. An A will never be hired by a B or a C. They will walk away. So make sure if you're looking for top talent that you have top talent interviewing. And then make sure that you're updating your interview questions, that they are going to really break down into specifics on how do they do those things, right? So that's where we want to really break down and make sure that only somebody who has experience can really break in, or can really answer those well. And then make sure that we're scoring these questions, right? So a suggestion is you put in a, you're not going to have a firm handshake these days, but you're going to put in a, what the question is. And then ideally, you're going to put in, here's what a good question answer is, and here's what a bad question answer is. And that way, the whole entire team can objectively score instead of the subjectivity that typically comes through. Then an encouragement is time block, because we're so busy. Time block, just put on here that you're open, but that's at least blocked out. That's at least blocked out so people know that you're going to have an interview. But if you're using things like Calendarly or anything like that, you can move those sessions around. So definitely time block it. And another encouragement is leverage technology, right? So if we leverage technology, we have video on demand technology that we utilize. So it can ask 5 questions. You get to see the candidate respond back. So you're going to see, how do they bring, I'm putting energy into this video, and I'm speaking pretty fast to me, right? But whenever you hear it on video, it's a lot slower. So if they can bring personality and energy during a video, they're going to do really well on the phone live. So that's a really nice thing, and it can really do a lot of good for you. So it allows you to align the assessments. If you pull these both together, you can put the assessments right on with the video interviewing, the on-demand video interviewing, and then 60% reduction in screening time. When we're super busy and we're going at the speed of heat, and hiring is a critically important decision, this technology play we found has been very helpful. And then we want to think about job posting. So now we're finally to the point of job posting. All right, so now that we have everything laid out, we're locked and loaded, ready to go, how do I write an effective job post? And we want to make that job post, what's in it for me? Bullet pointed, especially if we're looking for salespeople or people that are going to be demand generators or lead converters, people that are doing that. We're going to have a bullet point brief description. If it's War and Peace, they're never going to read it. Now, if we're hiring a coder, a very detailed person, then we're going to want to make that very detailed and put some specific implicit instructions at the very end of that job post to make sure that they followed it, because if they can't follow rules, they're not going to be detail oriented and not do that job. So depending on the job, it's going to depend on the job post. So these small little nuances are really important. Then just get after it. Make sure you have a good applicant tracking system. Determine what you're going to spend, how you're going to sponsor this thing, get in front of them. Are you going to use a recruiter to help you to get people that are not in the market but considering looking, so those are your best, or are you going to leverage tools on your own? So that's it. So look at your hiring process. Make sure that have an objective scoring system, consider the assessment results, and then who aligns best from a talent, passion, and culture. Make sure those 3 things are aligned. And then truly consider that onboarding. What do you need to know, by when, where am I going to find the information, who's going to help me learn these in this environment, who's going to mentor me, and how am I going to be judged, validated that I know all of these things. That's it. All right. Hopefully this is helpful. Again, Brian Whittington with Evergreen Business Services, also known as EBS Growth, signing off. See you.